Yo, what's going on, guys? We're back today for another video, and I feel like beating a dead horse with a stick at this point, like, and Kabam's still not getting it. I've made a few videos talking about Battlegrounds and just the terrible direction it's been headed in, and Kabam's just lack of accountability and willingness to fix the mode and to listen to us after pretending that they do in a post. At the end of my passionate rant, I said I was not going to spend any more on the game until Battlegrounds rewards get buffed. And I have absolutely stayed true to that. You can see right here, this is, the double track event, like 7-star buff Cyclops, like that's kind of interesting to me. I kind of want that, but I said I'm not spending. I'm not buying. I have not bought it. I have not renewed my sigil. I've passed on every single offer. Not a single dime has been spent since I put out that video. And not a single dime will be spent until I see Battleground rewards get buffed at the bare minimum. But that's the bare minimum. Like, even if Kabam does buff the Battlegrounds rewards, like, that's not gonna fix the game. It's not just Battlegrounds. The entire game is not feeling good right now. And then, we recently got the whole Nightmare Raids thing, which was bugged. And, like, we just finished it, like, recently. Let's see if it tells me. It doesn't tell us when we defeated the Apocalypse boss, but it was very recent. And, before, like, we were finishing raids, like, day 1, day 2. Like, this was not the case. This was insane. And I've seen some comments that, like, 4Loki's not struggling or something. I don't speak for 4Loki, but I can speak for my battle group, and this was not easy. Not at all. Like, I was on the left side, and I brought Jugs, and Jugs was pretty bad for Jabari, and when I was doing Weapon X, he was bugged, so he just kept healing, so I didn't even really do those fights at all. My battle group mates had some better options, so they took care of those, and then they got us to the Korg, and then I literally sat here in this chair for over 45 minutes, just fighting Korg. 45 minutes of my day fighting this Korg, man. Like, it's ridiculous. That's honestly ridiculous. And, I had fun with it just because I turned it into a video. But, like, that was brutal, dude. That was brutal. And, Jugs is very good for Korg. Like, what if I didn't bring Jugs? What if no one in my section brought a decent option for Korg? Like, it would have taken way more than 40 minutes, So, I've recently watched some videos here, so I'm going to big shout out to Vega here. Take a look at this thumbnail real quick. A boycott. So, when I hear the word boycott, the first thing that always comes to mind was 12.0, which was a long time ago when Kabam made a massive update and they changed, like, everything. The way the entire game works, the math, diminishing returns, percentage values, like, everything. And it affected so much. The entire game changed. And that was when the original boycott started. So the original boycott was no spending if you join the boycott, but also what they were doing was 1-star review bombing on the Apple Store. Now, I don't believe in that because I do want to believe in this game. I think there is like an infinite amount of untapped potential in Marvel Contest of Champions. That potential just needs to be realized. So, I don't want to damage the potential future of the game by review bombing. But we need to get Kabam to listen to us. And the absolute best way to make a company listen is when you start affecting their pockets and their money. So, not spending. That is the plan. I have not been spending. Vega has joined the non-spending. It's a great video. I will have a link to it in the description. And, Vega is someone who is, more known as a whale. He spent a fair bit on the game, maxing out deals, live streaming during it's a ton of fun to hang out in his streams when these, spending events drop, and he, like, opens everything up. It's a great time, it's good vibes. But with the game the way it is right now, no one wants to spend. Even the people that have the disposable income that are used to, maxing these events. Because what's the point? Like, there is just, feels like no point to be spending on the game right now. Why would we be investing in what seems like a sinking ship? And it doesn't feel like Kabam's doing much to help. Simula also made a great video talking about raids, and Cam had a great comment here that I wanted to read out. Maybe it's my general jadeness, but I feel like the pain points and features, the pain points are features and not bugs. I don't think they overlook the community sentiment. They just balance it against goals and metrics that allow them to stretch the game out for as long as possible and try and find the bare minimum of stuff they can give out to players to players to barely keep playing. It brings longevity to the game, but man, it's been 10 years of this, and I'm old and tired. And I saw another comment in Vega's comment section. I read through. There's like over 200 comments. I read through all of them, and one of them is like, Kabam, like they leave us little breadcrumbs to just like keep on stringing us along, man. And that is like, yeah, that's absolutely what it feels like. They do the absolute bare minimum. And I'm sick and tired of it, man. Like I said, there's so much potential in this game. I truly believe that. This is the best mobile game ever, in my opinion. I wouldn't be spending 8 years of my life playing it if I didn't genuinely think that. This is my entire job. Playing this game, making content on the game, doing YouTube for the game, streaming the game. Like, there's so much potential. But it's just not been fun lately. The community sentiment has just been so negative, and there is just zero desire to spend. And if me, a YouTuber that can write off my expenses on my taxes for this game, if I'm not willing to spend at all and have no desire to spend, then what about the rest of the community that just play the game more casually or just competitively, but don't make content? There's no way they're gonna want to be spending. Like, I just, Kabam's priorities just don't make sense. Changing the scoring with Battlegrounds for the next season is just like the wildest thing. I could not have predicted that happening. Out of everything, like, I'm pretty good at predictions usually, and with Kabam, I did not see that coming, dude. Like, so I think another part of the boycott that I am going to be implementing and I'm going to be participating in, which you guys are free to join me, is I'm not going to be playing Battlegrounds at all for the next season. Let's all agree, if you want to join the boycott, this boycott with me, just boycott Battlegrounds. Let's not play it at all. Let's show Kabam that their metrics are going to be so far down because of the way that they've been treating Battlegrounds. Without them getting nearly as much revenue, money, and with player metrics time, way down in Battlegrounds, hopefully that should really showcase the community sentiment and what Kabam needs to do. Because apparently a bunch of YouTubers making a string of videos saying how bad Battlegrounds isn't enough. So we need to take a step further. So this is the further step that I've thought of, just to not play Battlegrounds collectively until it gets some love. I said to Kabam, if you're going to change point scoring, like, for one, it's a non-negotiable. Like, fight time needs to be addressed, because if you're on an iPad, for example, you can get into a Battlegrounds fight quicker. Like, let me show you what I mean here. So let's see, in my last match here, I had 62 seconds against Korg. But if you click the little icon here, okay, this one was, my icon here, you can see my fight time was actually 59 seconds. So there's 3 seconds there getting lost in the void. Why? Why am I being robbed of 3 seconds? Like, this was a very close match. That could have very well costed me. My opponent here, his fight time was 66 seconds. In reality, his was 62 seconds. Like, the timer should not be starting until you are able to input a move, and everyone, regardless of device, should have the exact same 2 full minutes per Battlegrounds fight. That's the way the mode was designed. That needs to be enforced. It has never been. And we've had some seasons where loading times were like 10 to 15 seconds. Like, that's ludicrous. And it was never been addressed, never once even been mentioned by Kabam. Never a single time have they even talked about it, to my knowledge. Like, if Battlegrounds just had, if they didn't even buff rewards, which I already said earlier, as a bare minimum of what needs to be done. But even if they didn't buff the rewards, if they added like a 2v2 mode, a 3v3 mode, that would immediately spark so much interest in me to play Battlegrounds, to make content, to like talk to some other content creators, start collabing. Yo, let's do like a 2v2 wager match. You know, like that could be so much fun. Just playing with a partner, and it wouldn't even be that complicated. You could still keep like the bulk of the way Battlegrounds functions exactly the same. You just do your individual rounds, and then scoring would be collectively as a team. Like, it could be so easy to implement. Barely any change would need to be made for something like that. You know, like there's just so many things they could do, and Battlegrounds has been out for years, and just nothing. Just nothing. And it's been over, I believe, 20 months since the actual rewards were buffed. 20 months. That is way too long. That is way too long. You know, I remember making a video, I think, at the start of 2024 or the start of 2023, and like saying like my wish list for Kabam. And I remember one of my big things was, you know, quarterly store updates. Every store should be updated like every 3 to 4 months. No excuses. The way the economy in this game moves is so fast. You know, they take years to update stores. Like what Cam said, you know, just doing the absolute bare minimum to keep players holding on, to keep stringing us along, just leaving a little trail of breadcrumbs. These are people who have been playing the game for so many years. For me, I'm 25. I've been playing the game for 8 years. That's like a third of my life. A third of my lifespan I've spent in the battle realm. There's people that have been playing longer than me. Like MSD, he's been playing longer than me, and he's younger than me. He's been playing the game for like half of his life. Like, and we've invested so much time, so much energy, and a lot of us so much money, so much capital into this game. And this is the state that it's in 2025. It's just really sad, man. And like I hate being a Debbie Downer. I don't like making these videos. I like being positive and being happy and smiling and talking about fun and enjoyable things. But I'm just not having fun and enjoying the game, and absolute zero desire to spend any actual dollars in the game. So yeah, guys, that's how I'm feeling right now. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're going to be joining the movement. And again, I'll have a link to Vega's video. Highly recommend checking it out. It's very, very good. Yeah, it's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this one. Drop a like if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.